Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 10 Tech Tree Light Tank, the Manticore. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Manticore, it's a one super duper stealthy boy. It's got a 105mm gun that can be pretty damn nice to use. You've got an abysmally slow reload, which is what the Manticore is known for. The fact that the reload is utterly atrocious. But I'll say the gun handling is pretty decent on it. You got pretty good mobility on the Manticore, and the strength of the Manticore is the fact that you have decent view range at 512 meters with the build that I run, but also stupidly good camo. Like, the camo on this vehicle is ridiculously nice for a light tank. At 234 to 235 meters of still concealment with the build that I run, which means you can stay unspotted in so many good situations. And like you just saw at the start of this replay, when we fired at the Chieftain, he didn't light us up like most tanks would, which is a very beautiful thing for the Manticore. I say the stealth cannot be underestimated with how good it is on this vehicle, and it means that you are a super duper good passive scout. If you get yourselves to a good spotting location, you'll be able to get good spots out, and if your team shoot the enemy vehicles, you'll be able to get yourselves tons of assistance and have a good time. And then also, you can use it yourself as a good tool to have that super stealthy, great outflanking games that can happen, and you might see that a little bit in the second replay, sorry. So yeah, the Manticore has a 68 kilometers an hour top speed, with a 25 kilometer an hour reverse speed, which is two very, very good stats for mobility, with a 40.32 horsepower per ton ratio. Yeah, you heard that right, 40.32. That's got to be one of the best horsepower per ton ratios in the game. I don't actually know the answer to that, but it's got to be one of the best, right? That's mad high. But that means you hit the 68 kilometers an hour top speed exceptionally easily in the Manticore, and you don't ever have to worry about the fact of being slow. You have a 20% internal fire chance, which means you are on the high end of chances for getting set on fire. And trust me, this thing does like to get lit on fire. It does set on fire quite often because the engine is in the front of the vehicle. So if you get shot anywhere in that upper plate, lower plate, front end of the tank, likelihood is you'll get lit on fire. So be very, very careful of that in this Manticore. Your ground resistances are fantastic, which means that you don't get held back by those whatsoever. And especially with having such a good power to weight ratio as well, that's great. You got 234 to 235 meters of still concealment as well, which, like I say, is fantastic, and it's the same on the move because it's a light tank. You've got 512 meters of view range, which is pretty damn nice as well for the Manticore, which means you can get some good spots out, and again, use your fantastic camo to be able to spot the enemy team at good distances. They won't spot you in quite a lot of the situations, and you'll be able to get a lot of assistance damage in that regard. You've got 8 degrees of gun depression with 8 degrees of elevation, which is terrible. So good 8 degrees of gun depression is great. That's average. That's above average. I'd say 8 degrees of gun depression is above average. It's pretty nice for a ridgeline. Like you're seeing here, you can have a lot of fun with it. 8 degrees of elevation is dreadful. It's truly awful. And it's a oscillating turret problem, which means that you will really struggle to look up depending on the ridgeline, and it can really be a hindrance sometimes, especially on a map like Westfield, for example, where you take that mid-ridge. Sometimes you do actually struggle to get the gun to look up to get it on target, which can be a bit frustrating at times for a vehicle like the Manticore. You got 10.21 second reload at best. Well, I say at best, with the build that I run on this vehicle, which is really quite bad, and you got which is 2.3k DPM. It's really poor for a tier 10 tank, let alone a tier 10 light tank. The DPM is utterly atrocious on this vehicle. It's one of the really bad points about the vehicle. But you do have 0.94 accuracy during rotation, which isn't that good, to be honest, and 3.2 accuracy during movement, which, once again, is really not that nice with the build that I have, because I don't run the gun stabilizer. If I run the gun stabilizer, it does get a little bit better for you, which can be nicer. Generally, it does make the gun feel a little better, because you have 0.75 accuracy during rotation and 2.56 accuracy during movement with the gun stabilizer, but there's just other things that I generally want to make better about the vehicle, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's really not very good, but because you have a 1.9 second aim time with this build, the gun does aim in very, very quickly, which means you're pretty much ready to go anyway, so you can forego the gun stabilizer to make sure that you make everything else about the tank better, and you won't really feel it that badly. But if the gun really does irritate you, quite happily I'd probably drop the loader and run the gun stabilizer to make sure it aims in quicker. But to be honest, this is what I'm saying about the Manticore in the fact that you just want to make everything else better about the tank, or you want to play to the strengths, right? As opposed to the fact that the DPM is so atrocious that you just want to make it better if you can hopefully help it. But you've got 248 standard penetration on the standard AP, with 268 penetration on the premium APCR, which has 1,100 meters a second shell velocity on the standard AP and 1,375 meters a second shell velocity on the premium APCR. The standard pen at 248 is not bad. The premium pen at 268 is really not that great, and it does mean you do struggle to pen certain vehicles like Type 5 heavies, Mousers, you know, those sorts of super heavies, which can be a bit of a pain for a vehicle like the Manticore. So what do I run in terms of a crew and equipment on the Manticore? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise, Green Thumb, Muffled Shot, the Advanced Loader, the Camo Net, and Optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself, get that fantastic 512 meters of view range. The Camo Net to get the camo down to that beautiful 234 meters of still concealment, which is a real asset for the vehicle. The Advanced Loader to make that DPM that bit better, because it is utterly atrocious and you want to help it out if you can. The Steady Aim and Run and Gun to make the accuracy during movement and the accuracy in general better by 10%. And then the Camouflage Expertise and Muffled Shot to make the camo better in general and better after firing, with the Green Thumb to make it better while you are in a bush. Because it's one of those things that, like I say, I do play this thing like a bush Wookiee at times. I do like to be that more passive scout with the Manticore, because that's the way the tank is designed to be played. And so you want to be able to try and help that camo out as much as possible, and increasing the camo factor of the vehicle while in foliage, like while in a bush, by 10% is a big, big helpful factor for something like a Manticore. But that's why I run that. You could quite happily get rid of Green Thumb if you wanted to, make the turret rotation better with Rapid Aim, run Clutch Braking to make the track traverse better. You could, if you wanted to, run Armour Angling to reduce the amount of damage coming in. It's down to you and how you want to play the vehicle. It's how you feel comfortable playing the Manticore. So I finished that first game with 4 kills, 5,092 damage, 3,600 assistance. The ace tanker, the sniper, with the 1,721 base XP. A really nice game there for the British Tier 10 light tank on Sand River, which is a map I absolutely love. I do love playing Sand River. And for a light tank especially, it's a very, very nice map to play, because you've got lots of different avenues that you can take, lots of different spots that you can go spot the different attacking avenues, and you can just have a pretty damn nice game on it. And especially with a Manticore like that, you can have a good time. But we're on to the second replay, and this second replay is going to be a bit of hard work. And we are on Redshire. Again, a map that is pretty damn nice for a tank like the Manticore, because there's lots of good foliage spots, there's lots of good spotting lanes, there's lots of ridge lines that we can take, that we can use to spot different avenues again, and we can just have a pretty damn nice time with the old Manticore here. So we've come to the position at E3, E4, because it's a good starting location for us in the Manticore. We can try and spot the people that might go to about G3, 4. And we can also get shots at people that get spotted along the 9 line. And as you can see there, that is camo in action. That AVRE did not see us. He just didn't see us, even though he was only about 150 odd meters away. And that's just, look at him. He's 120 meters away. He did not spot us until we fired. That's the camo of the Manticore. That's why I say the Manticore's camo is just that good. And it helps you. It really does help you to get some silly spotting games at times, especially if you get a map like Proc or Mali. You can have a great time being that scout, that true scout, and that's what realistically the Manticore is. It's not an active scout, it is truly a true passive scout. You want to be able to know the positions that you want to be taking, where you can get to a bush, stay unspotted, spot the enemy team up, and then try and get your assistance damage. Because obviously a position that could be good for the Manticore at the minute is running down the 1 line, because they'll struggle to spot me running down the 1 line, and there's plenty of bushes along there that I could end up sitting in that would actually spot their whole team that are sitting at G3, 4. The problem is, naturally, if say that TD is at G1, it cuts off the avenue that I could actually take. But this is where the position here on Redshire is quite nice for a tank like the Manticore, because I can use the good gun depression, the 8 degrees gun depression, to poke over, get shots with this 105mm gun into people that are trying to attack my team. There's an AVRE that's in the middle that we can quite easily get a shot into. We get kind of lucky there taking that shot at that AVRE, because I was going for his side, but we ended up losing the gun depression and penned him through the top of his turret, which is a beautiful thing, and we will absolutely take that if it gives us the chance to. But I've decided, okay, that AVRE makes me not want to be here. The medium tanks are starting to push up. The light tanks pushing over. You know what? Now is the time. I am going to go down this one line, because the one line, naturally, like I say, I can spot them. And I was thinking, you know, Manticore, it's a super stealthy tank. There's a possibility I could go down here on the one line, poke out in the bushes, and actually get shots into the side of these guys on the F line, and they might not spot me if I take the right bush. But also, I can be a nuisance to this AVRE, because the AVRE is currently trying to shoot the one medium tank that is at E3, and if I was with that medium tank, there's ever likely a chance that the AVRE would be able to look at me, and, well, he would delete me, and I wouldn't like that. I don't want that. You've just seen the elevation problem right there, by the way, in the fact that if you are looking over the back of the tank, you really do completely lose elevation, because there's a little lip that you can see on the front, and the turret basically can't elevate over that lip on the front of the vehicle, which means if you're looking over the back, yeah, you lose gun elevation, and even on a slight elevation that you saw there, it means that we really can't get the gun down to shoot things, and it can be a bit frustrating in the Manticore. But sadly for the T95E6, the AVRE came over and went, "Good night, sir," and shut him down. We're up to 1961 damage and 527 assistance, and the AVRE's been shut down by my friendly Hydra. And it's like, yes, Hydra, I love you. Thank you so much for getting rid of the raid boss. We get a shot into the Manticore, who also got the shot at us in return. 50B pokes over. Again, we managed to snap the shot into the side of his turret. Like I said, the gun handling on the move and during rotation isn't that good, but because of the fact it aims in quite quickly, you can just get the shots off fairly quickly with the Manticore, and it's not too bad. Except for when you aim like a donkey. Well played, me. That was really, really good. One thing you've got to be careful of with the Manticore is something that it used to suffer from way more, and that is ammunition. Now, it does have a lower ammunition count that you do have to be careful of. That if you waste too many shots, you will just run out, and that can be deeply frustrating in the Manticore. But at the same time, it's better than it used to be. Pretty sure it used to be way lower than it is now, and you ran out all the time, even when you were barely doing anything. But, you know, it's a little bit better now, but it's still something you've got to be very, very careful of, is the fact that ammunition, you know, ammunition can run low, and you can have a pretty frustrating time with it. But so far, this game is not going well. It's 7-Eleven. It's a convenience store chain. It's really not good. Well, for the US, anyway. We don't actually have a 7-Eleven over here, really. But yeah, it's 6-11 now. Oh boy, it's really not going well. We're losing quite heavily. We managed to get a shot into the side of the 50B, which is great. It puts him down to a one-shot. The Manticore's also a one-shot. We get very fortunate there that we get missed twice by 2 tanks, and something else hits our gun and does no damage. And I'm just looking at this game going, oh no, I think we are on a losing path right now. We're up to 3.2k damage and 1500 assistance. We spot the SU-130 PM. We see the Contra Caro Mark II sat at the back. Not much we could do there, except for the artillery gets a shot into him. We get a cheeky shot there into that SU-130 PM. The artillery also hit the CC Mark II. And we get to shut down the Manticore, who was trying to be cheeky. Sadly, the Manticore got a shot into us, but getting rid of that tier 10 British light tank was also quite handy. It's getting guns out the game. We put the SU-130 PM down to a possible one-shot, which is what, we just need to get guns out this game. They just need to go. The SU-130 PM's drop back. The HMH ISU-130 gets spotted, and again, we're just dropping shots in where we can without overdoing it, because we do not want to get shut down. We don't want to take a shot that might put us down to a one-shot at any point yet, because, you know, it might be 6-10, but we're a bunch of mobile tanks, and if we can get this game back in... Oh, low rolls. If we can get this game back into touch, that would be good. Sadly, we ended up low rolling on the SU-130 PM. That's where RNG sometimes just goes, ha! No, I'm not doing that. And sadly, we didn't kill that Soviet Tier 8 TD. We snapped the shot on the T-77 as well, which did not pen it, only ricocheted. He's now put to a one-shot by the tank that was behind me, so we poke over and finish off the T-77. It's now 9-5. There's a couple of low-health tanks on the enemy team. We really kind of want to get guns out of this game. SU-130 PM gun would be good. Manticore over there would be great to get rid of. We fire on the move, and sadly, we end up missing. He is going after our TD that's in the corner. So, you know what? Let's go help the Brask. Let's get rid of this guy. The Brask hits him on the move. I aim it up. And sadly, visible rage as the shot just whiffs the target, which is such a sad time. But if we can get after him, aim it up. There we go. Good night, Mr. Manticore. He is out this game. The SU-130 PMs come over to try and get shots. And again, I'm thinking, oh, thank you, Mr. SU-130 PM, for coming over and giving me a possible shot. You were safe. So we're just aiming it in. You can see the aim time. And we shut down the SU-130 PM. Another good out this game. It is 7-3 still, though. And it's on a knife's edge. Well, it's not even on a knife's edge. We're in a loss situation. So we put a shot into the Manticore. Again, we're putting shots down range wherever we can. And this Batchat is a deadly target because obviously it's got the clip capacity to kill anyone. And it's got the mobility to chase people down too. So if we can get 3 shots into this guy, that'd be great. So we fire one on the move and I think, oh no, what have I done? I've put myself in a bad situation here. We take a hit, not from the Batchat, but by the heavy tank back at C7. And we get ourselves safe back over the ridgeline towards where our medium tank friend is, the Murat. And it's like, okay, Mr. Batchat, I'm going to shut you down. Oh no, we missed. Sad times. I wish I'd aimed better. But the Batchat's clearly either loading or just isn't paying attention to me. I feel like he's reloading there. And we finish off the tier 10 French medium tank. You can see the visible rage. I was a bit frustrated at myself, to be fair. And we're up to 5 kills with 5.9k damage, 2.2k assist. We have dragged this game back. 6k damage nearly. It's 4-3. There's a heavy tank, the ST2, spotted at B6. The Contracaro at D3. He ends up lighting us up. And I'm thinking, okay, if that guy overexposes over the ridgeline, my 2 medium tanks can shoot him. I don't know where the other TD is. And we know where the artillery probably is as well. So I kind of want to get this CC Mark II if I can. He's not really paying attention to the fact that I'm here. There's the other TD. It's like, oh no, that's not what we wanted. So we try and get the shot on the move as we go over the ridgeline, but our elevation lets us down. Did not expect the ISU-130 to just be sat there going, hey friend, I'm an ISU-130. And yeah, we basically panicked, took the shot at the Contracaro Mark II because we took a less dangerous route back out. But the ST2 is currently capping. And again, we're going to use the mobility and the fantastic camo to shoot this ST2. So you can shoot the ST2 and we get the shot in, pen him, don't get spotted, and that's because you can see where I pulled up. I pulled up alongside where that ST2 is, firing through a bush, which means that I get the best camo I possibly can out of it, meaning that he is very unlikely to actually spot me. Unfortunately, the second shot didn't pen the ST2, but we're just waiting on the reload now to finish that guy off. Good night, Mr. Soviet. Tier 10 double-barreled heavy tank. And then the CC-1 Mark II gets shut down by the Brask as well, meaning there's just the ISU-130 and the artillery. Again, the artillery we probably know where he is, and the ISU-130, again, we do know where he is. He was spotted. There we go. We end up lighting him up. And it's like, hello, Mr. ISU-130. Let's see if we can get a cheeky shot at him alongside the buildings, but he moves out just into a position I can't quite find it. There we go. Firing through concealment. Once again, I have such good camo. He is not going to spot us when we fire there. We put him down to a one-shot for our friends, and the Murat shuts him down. We're up to 7,000 flat damage with 2,240 assistance, the 6 kills, and it's just Mr. Artillery left. And we've got 4 shells, so we're loading the HE rounds for the M53-55, because that is possibly a very, very easy artillery to be able to pen with the HE. He takes 3 hits there from those guys in the distance, and sadly, he was just out in the open for them to kill, and we don't get any more from this game. But we do finish the game with the victory, 6 kills, 7,000 damage, 2,276 assistance, Ace Tanker Top Gun, the high caliber, with 1,813 base XP. A really fantastic game there for the Manticore. Just showing off what the strength of the Manticore is. The camo is beautiful, and the mobility is pretty good, so if you want to get yourselves into good flanking positions and use the bush cover as you can stay unspotted so easily and just have a good time. Obviously, you did see the big drawback, though, the fact that the reload is so terrible, but it is what it is. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success.